Okay, I got 4 examples up here for you guys to do. So I left them blank, so you guys just need to write it in up top here, what we're going. So we just have 4 different sequences that we have here. And the first question that we're going to have to answer about these is you guys are going to have to answer, is it arithmetic or is it a geometric sequence? So if I look at this sequence up here, what's happening to each of these? Well, we could say that they are adding 3. So the fact that we are adding 3 to every single one of these numbers up here means that it is an arithmetic sequence. Okay? Now, once we know it's an arithmetic sequence, we can use our nth term formula. Okay? And then once I find my nth term formula, eventually I can answer a question like what term we are looking for down here. So starting out, finding our nth term, 2 is my first term here. So I'm going to fill in then a 2 for my a value. My d is my common difference. So in this case, we were adding 3 to each one. So my common difference is going to be a 3. Okay. Now we do want to simplify if we can. So I would distribute my 3 in, which gives me a 3n minus 3. And then I would want to combine my like terms, 2 and negative 3. So I get that my nth term formula is going to be a 2. Nope. Is going to be a 3n minus 1. Okay? Now, you can answer, or you can use that there, a sub n equals 3n minus 1. I can use that to find any term I'm looking for. So if they ask me to find the 105th term, all I need to do is I need to plug in 105 for n. So I'm going to have a sub 105 equals 3 times 105 minus 1. 3 times 105 gives me 315 minus 1. So the 105th term is going to be 314. Okay. Next example, pause video, take a sec to write it down. Okay, I'm trying to figure out what's going on between each of these. Well, it looks like I am multiplying by 3 on every single one of those. So since I'm multiplying by 3, that is a geometric sequence. My nth term formula for a geometric sequence is going to be a times r to the n minus 1 power. Okay, again, a is your first term. R is our common ratio. So when I go to simplify this one, my first term is a 2. So I have a 2 plugged in there for a, and my common ratio is going to be a 3. Okay, so my formula, my nth term formula is a sub n equals 2 times 3 to the n minus 1 power. Again, I can use that formula to solve for any term in this. Say I want to know what the 10th term is, then I'm going to plug in a 10 for my n value, and I get a sub 10 equals 2 times 3 to the 10 minus 1 power. Okay, I forgot to say here, you guys are never going to be able to simplify the geometric formulas because of the exponents that are going on, so don't worry about trying to simplify those. Once you get your values in down here, we can simplify. Okay, that's going to be a sub 10 equals 2 times 3 to the 10 minus 1 power, which that'd be 3 to the 9th power. And 3 to the 9th power is 19,683. And then I've got to take that times 2. And when I take that times 2, I get 39,366. So that would be our 10th term there. Okay. Last 2 sequences. Okay. A lot of people will look at this sequence and be like, oh, I'm dividing by 2. Well, we talked about geometric says that we are multiplying. So I cannot say that I divided by 2. But what I can say is that I was multiplying by 1/2. Okay, so this is geometric, and I am multiplying by 1/2. So I plug in my formula, a sub n equals a times r to the n minus 1 power. What's my first term? Well, our first term is going to be 32. So I'm going to have 32 times, my common ratio is 1/2. Common ratio is 1/2 to the n minus 1 power. So a sub n would equal 32 times 1/2 to the n minus 1 power. Okay, and then I can use that to find any term that I am looking for. Okay, I'm going to skip that term 1 here just so we can get finished up. Again, you're not going to be able to simplify this formula. Anytime it's geometric, you can't simplify it. Let's go through one more example. Last example, got 152, 148, 144, 140. Okay, each of those are subtracting by 4. Okay, now that's not arithmetic because they don't subtract, right? But I could say that I am adding a -4 to each one. So if I'm adding a -4, I am adding by the same number, therefore that is arithmetic. So I'm going to go through a sub n equals a plus d times n minus 1. Okay, what's my first term for this formula here? Well, the first term is 152. So I'm going to plug in my 152 for my a. Plus, what's my common difference? Well, my common difference is a -4. Not a +4, it's a -4 because we are subtracting. Okay, I do want to simplify this one, so distribute my -4 in. I'm going to have a sub n equals 152 minus 4n plus 4. Combine my like terms together, and I'm going to get a sub n equals 156 minus 4n. That's my nth term formula. I can use that to find any term I want. If they told me to find the 3000ths term, I would just plug in 3000 for n and simplify. That would tell me what that term is. Okay. So your guys' homework is your review sheet. Do that. We have our test next time.